It's going to be pretty in your face. Going to be interesting to see if Heroic are ready for that.
Yeah, right. Obviously, we talk about honeymoon situation, or is it going to be rust for Fnatic, considering they've got not just new players, but a new in-game leader, a new core. So there's definitely some things that we need to see figured out. Inferno's a good map for it, though, is put by Golden. They're going quick. It will be a fast pace up towards the top of B, but a bit of a brawl, a bit of a massacre, and that's easy. Takes time to reload. Cadian won't have the clock in his favor. 3-on-2. Fnatic wait for the flank. Mezzi very aware, but Forest gets picked over the top, and now it's getting weird. Mezzi's got to hold the line. Solo Dolo, and he does them both in. Fnatic find the pistol, and Heroic come running right into the crosshairs.
Yeah, that is what just happened, Hugo. Very astute observation.
Thank you, Harry. You want to break that round down for me?
No, I think you did a bang-up job.
Oh, great, thanks.
No, dude, like, Mezzi, good start to this one,
yeah, that
right?
was a good start.
I don't know if you saw, he got the 2 that came up banana, right?
Yeah, technically, you're
This
not
is
wrong.
taken like a very sarcastic turn right from the get-go, Hugo.
Fantastic.
I didn't mean for it to propel us down this way. So we got a little force buy in for Heroic. They've got some util, right? Maybe you're going to attempt one of these little nade stacks early on. And it's a pretty heavy B-lean right away, right out of the gate. And it looks like Roy wants to test the waters. Now, expect a good deal of this, right? This guy is, you know,
muscular,
he is fearless with his dedication to going out in search of those openers. And when you've got a guy like Forest alongside you, you're only going to feel that much more confident. So it's this this early double opener for Fnatic, and things are already looking really good against this force buy.
Yeah, obviously for Forest as well. You know, obviously we talk a lot about these Copenhagen Flames players that we've seen a lot of in recent times, even in those major playoffs. Just the other day in Antwerp. But for Forest, I mean, this guy, he's a legend of the game. I don't need to introduce him, rather. And I think it's super exciting not only to see him back in the Fnatic org, which of course he played under in 1-6, but also alongside Crims, 2 Swedish legends still performing, maybe not their peak, but at a very high level, haven't had a steep drop-off like so many old legends have. And in a time where we're even seeing players like Snacks come in and look incredible in Dallas, I think it continues to build up not just a standard meta, but also the idea that, you know, legends never die. But every Gravedigger will. Fnatic get flashed back out. They have to leave Banana. They notice both Heroic players in the B-bomb site, and so Roy smokes his exit route, and Fnatic will be able to pick up this round freely.
Yeah, this one's just going to sail on past the Danes, right? But, you know, you kind of touched upon Heroic there lightly, and I think coming into this, I'm going to side with and echo what Golden said over on the desk, which is this is kind of Heroic's event to lose, right? Like, the expectation here is that they should be coming in and picking up the victory, and it kind of goes without saying, you know, these guys, they throughout the online era, and, you know, when we were affected by COVID and the pandemic, Heroic were unreal. They were at the top of their game, and then we kind of have this thing where, like, in stage environments, sometimes they drop off a little, and you know, we haven't really like seen that same Heroic at like 110% on the big stages just yet. I think even in Antwerp in the quarterfinals versus Na'Vi, that was actually them looking their most composed yet in my eyes.
Definitely.
It still wasn't quite enough, but it's certainly a sign of promise, right? That they kind of warmed up to the big stage. I mean, and to top that off, you know, coming into this, it's very much their tournament to lose, because this is one where those big dog teams that have always knocked them out on the stages at like the big tier 1 lands, they're not really here, right? Heroic are very much the big dog in this event.
For sure.
So, yeah, hoping that they can show us that.
Unequivocal favorites, right? Number 9 in the world, the top rated team of this event right now. So it shouldn't be up for debate too much, but we'll see how they perform. I think, obviously, as Pavlos said, Heroic very comfortable on this map. They have no problem playing Inferno. They beat Na'Vi on Inferno in the playoffs, but at the same time, I'm a little worried because you're letting Fnatic on the one map that they're going to feel a little bit more free on, especially for Mezzi as an in-game leader, a new in-game leader. This guy's done it all, man. It feels like he's never been on a stable roster, despite being such a dominant rifle player. And obviously, even in Cloud9, we saw that as much. Here in Fnatic, could never really find their groove. But hey, I trust him. I'm willing to bite the bullet and see what Mezzi can offer. I just wonder how much that's going to hold him back in his individual ability. We rarely see players who aren't in-game leaders take that role and keep their performance high. But yeah, as I said, coming into this game, is it honeymoon for Fnatic or is it ring rust? We're about to find out. A little B-pop into the one Galil.
And it is boosted here, right? You got boosts on boost inside of the B site. Cadian with his Galil gonna look to try and lock this one in. Now, I've seen a Galil play or two out of Heroic over here on B site Inferno, but this time it's torn away immediately. Crims and Nikados coming in with a kill apiece. And so a 3-on-3, they flushed it out. It's still good damage for Heroic, and there's a chance to make it even sweeter here. Smoke timing play for Tessez. Just concealing himself on the fade. Messi's going to find him and goes on to double up. Fnatic, this conversion should get found, no problem. And there it is.
They're looking crispy, Harry. I know we haven't seen a rifle round.
So hang on a moment, right? So, you know, we came into this. No, I was going to say, we came into this like giving Heroic a lot of kind of credit, saying this is their event to lose. One thing I'll say is like this Fnatic squad, you don't have any like hard set data for what to expect. You don't really know where they're at. You know, you don't really know like the progress they've made. You don't know how well they're getting along. It's a big question mark of a roster. But I will say on paper, it's a super exciting roster.
If they bomb out, it's not shocking.
No, but even outside of that, I'm looking at it from like the other perspective. I think there's a chance that they could surprise us with the damage they do here.
Absolutely. There is just a lot of power on this team, right? You know, we doubt maybe the depth of their playbook, but obviously Mezzi playing alongside Alex for a long time, I'm sure has got plenty he's stolen from McMeekin to bring it into this game today. We'll see. Fnatic take Banana, standard start to rounds, don't need to put anything too special. Cadian's going to get flashed off. They find the orb, they know where he is. Roy's trapped in the corner. He has to give them a smoke just to get out. Doesn't want to be trapped by this AWP. Waiting for the spam to end, and then he can cross back into safety. Smoke spam goes the other way on long. 4 players here, but Refresh is gone. They dive through, they duck out. Crims lives to fight another round. Cadian fires off again, and Fnatic once more avoid the orb.
Yeah, they're going to go back to B now. Heroic are trying to get ahead of this, pulling players around. Stown and Cadian both moving in to defend this B bomb site. They've got 2 in the right place at the right time. There's 1 smoke for Fnatic, and they try to play contact, and they will come to regret that. Stown might have been blind, but he's able to light up 2 as they move in, and with Cadian still waiting around here, this B site feels off limits. So right now, Fnatic, they're trying to thread the needle. Nikados has opened up a lot of room over here towards long. And with Forest moving in to join him, they've got to get past 1 man down in the pit.
Oh, he gets obliterated. That was such a quick shot for Shusha. Now they should know, Heroic, that it is an A play. Forest was committed. 10 seconds. He can try and find a safe plant, but he's got to get past the library player as well. And he walks through Testis' angle. Heroic on the board. It all really comes down to that re-smoke for Stown, right? Fnatic did everything they could have in terms of faking out which side of the map they were on, getting that pick on Refresh, hearing the AWP on the trade attempt, going back to B, and Cadian was not out of position but a little late. He was as early as he could have been, but then Stown drops a smoke, and that gives ample time for not only him to get set up but Cadian to move around back to Coffins. That puts the fear in Fnatic. They go back to the A site, and Shush anchors strong. So nice round from Heroic, getting on the board early, and Cadian will keep it cool with another.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a real test for Mezzi, right? He's kind of just learned in that round there that Heroic, they really are famed for these very fast rotates, very keen to try and outread their opponents, right? And that decision to contact B came back to hurt them in a very big way. Roy with the opener. Cadian's on the receiving end. Expect a lot more of that out of this guy. Always a nuisance. And that AWP is juggled into Stown's hands, but that never feels like too much of a step down here, right? He's more than comfortable with the big green as he falls back into the B side of the map. Just going to be left here solo to anchor it with that AWP.
Perfectly fine. I've liked how much Cadian's been throwing himself into fights, right? Very quick on rotates between both sites right now. But obviously does let Heroic down for a moment. Crims holding, and they feed the beast one more man. But Crims will not let that trade be allowed. He backs all the way out. Refresh has to respect it. 50-50 angle at the end of apps is not interesting for him. So Heroic with that AWP on B still hold too strong. Tessus has a good bit of utility left up. If he can drop a molly, you know, 20 seconds, 15 seconds, he can really hamstring this push. Fnatic have one smoke on Mezzi, but he might just lob it Moto, and they now can no longer put out this molly. It all comes down to Tessus. If he can get it in the right place, he can win the round.
Oh, and there it is, going in on the short side. Fnatic, awkward decision now. They're going to wait for it to fade, and this is costing them a lot of time here. Really playing this one in the final few seconds, and with those kills coming in, Heroic are good for the round. It's clean from these site players.
I can hear Cadian shouting through my headset, and I'm on the other side of the building. So that's a
and
no.
we're in a little soundproof room.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
we're in a box.
They tried to give us so many lines of protection. And you can still hear Cadian roaring.
I love the villains of Heroic. I love you know, we haven't had villains in so long. In fact, funnily enough, the last villains we really had in CS, or at least some of the more notable ones, were the old Fnatic roster, right? The old full Swedish side. So I think it's really cool to have Heroic in their current form be those bad boys. You know, Cadian loves tilting his opponents. Players aren't fans of it, are they? That much is made very clear by interviews, but at least from the spectator side, it is very entertaining, and we need more of it. So I'm buying in. Nice round for Heroic, right? That molly is not just the slowdown that forces Fnatic to just awkwardly rush at 10 seconds, but it's also a warning, right? When you drop the molly and there's 10 seconds left, you know Fnatic are coming. Your crossfire is more than ready to hit it. Forest showing us the silent drop. Crims, what do you got? Have you learnt it? No, not yet.
Forrest is trying to explain it to him, like...
See, in Dignitas, they've got all the tricks.
Yeah. You know, they very much did.
That's so sneaky. Even Forrest is pulling that out, you know. Just doesn't need it. Just knows it for the sake of it.
Hang on, I just noticed something. Maybe I'm going crazy. I swear,
crazy.
hello.
What?
Hello.
Hello.
Forrest with a Glock. Forrest with a Glock.
He's silent and deadly.
Nikinos with a Glock.
No. Baby, no. What did you notice, Harry?
I swear, the agent skins are custom, and they have little Pinnacle on. That's cool as hell.
That's cool. No,
That's cool as hell.
Pinnacle do go hard. They also have the logo at the top of mid on Inferno. I'm sure you've seen that.
Show me the agent skins. I want to see them. Make that happen. Look at that.
There we go.
Look at that.
A bit of branding. Huh?
Dude, that's kind of slick, isn't it? That's pretty slick right there.
I'm just going to need one of those jackets, Pinnacle. Bring it by my booth.
But the CTs, do they have any anywhere? Because it's a lot harder to put it on their armor, right? Like
maybe on there's something on their arm. I can't see.
There is something on their arm.
I'm leaning in. Very
zoom
close.
in. Hey,
enhance.
Alexa, zoom and enhance.
Sorry, my phone's going off for some reason. All right, bit of a tacky for Heroic.
There we go.
Oh,
sorry, the Alexa's a.
Don't spin. Cadian.
No, Cadian, dude, come on, stop. Oh, it's the...
it's relog.
It's relog, okay.
Very nice.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And look at this, we got dynamic on-the-fly camera angles.
We're back in, though. Deep mid smoke, GT smoke for Heroic. I like how they go on a 3-round winning streak and then they take the pause, you know, getting ahead of it before it's a problem, making sure they stay in front of Fnatic. Good grenades, though, goes either way. Roy gets obliterated in Banana. He was barely in. Not even past his smoke. They just lob it down the bottom. And this is a lot of real estate for Heroic, right? They may have lost some health due to that early utility, but they can hold on to the deep Banana position. Flashback in, Stown is going to have to be pushed off by the molly. Oh, are you really going to double sandbags with the AWP? Cadian just wants one. If he gets one and dies, Stown's set up perfectly. Cadian can even tuck and cover after a shot.
He's going to trap him in, though. They're stuck fighting this. The flash is good. Stown was anti, but isn't able to get away with it. And it's Forrest double opener, rolling back the years. And he's even looking to go for more.
Three bullets.
Forrest, three bullets. Don't go for this. Come on now. 3 in the round. Forrest is lighting them up.
Psychopath.
It's just Shush and Refresh left standing, and they are relegated to a save already as Forrest has torn them apart.
Sign him right now. Send him the contract. Mezzi's on the lurk, and Refresh cannot save today. Fnatic, off the back of Heroic's pause, they come in and break the streak, break the curse. Get another T-side round in their pocket. I can't believe he pushes the smoke with 3 bullets. That is balls. right there for Fnatic, but pretty assured that they'd already won the round. Forest will die on the way out, but it gets the info, and now Fnatic, if they want to risk their money, that of which is not established, they can hunt this kill. But yeah, this is the right call. Tuck in and chill out. It's 4-3, Fnatic in control right now.
It does feel cool seeing Forest donning a Fnatic jersey as well.
This was worst case scenario for the setup, right? Cadian full blinded, Stown anti-flash, doesn't get a kill, and then he hunts your rotate. I mean, it could not have gone worse for Heroic. It's not how that's supposed to look, but they can do it again. All right, classic refresh move right down middle. And he's dead.
Yeah, right into the orb. Hey, man. Oh, KD was meant to find the equalizer there. Crims is one step ahead, ready for it. And I mean, now, you know, you're in this 5-on-4. You know that you've kind of put Heroic under a bit of pressure. I like this decision to go back into B. Stown's here with a bit of dropped util, right? He's going to be able to slow this one down. However, he doesn't want to throw that smoke in too early. He decides to jiggle this. There's the spot, and so now he's got the info. Smoke goes in. Fnatic, they're going to come through it. They're running him down right now. Down, dead after the first. And now a smoke into CT. It's very loose, and Heroic were not ready for it. Bomb now planted. That kill onto Roy. It looked devastating. I kind of love seeing that from the other POV. And that might entice Heroic back in for a retake here.
He certainly could. 2 smokes, he can cut off Banana. Going to throw one in to try and work CT spawn. But coming through, Crims is on the other side. He's looking for a little gap, a little tasty meat hole as Heroic rather try and find their way back into the bomb site. Yep, there's meat in that hole. Tessa's looking to fill their meat with holes as he comes in from Coffin side. Forest at the back of the site. All missed shots recovers well. They tap it, but they ain't going to get this defuse anytime soon. Exits galore, but none of the glory. It's Fnatic with the round. Off the back of Dignitas' opening pick down mid. They convert another B post-plant situation.
Yeah, this is, mate, honestly, like, this is one of the reasons why I think this Fnatic squad could actually be very, very scary. I think you have so many players who have an innate ability to create space and to get openers. You know, like, Dignitas can certainly do it with the AWP, right? We've seen that. It's tried and tested. Roy was very much the entry man of the Copenhagen Falmez. You know, we've got Messi and Crimson here who, in their various stints on Fnatic with various rosters, have both done the same thing. Yeah. And Forest is also, you know, reasonably keen to, you know, back in like Dig, it was very much Freiburg who ran in like an absolute lunatic, like just held W, would run into the guns. And Forest would kind of be like this trade player instead around Freiburg, but you know, he was still very much accustomed to like creating space. They just went about it in like a different way.
He took more than 50% of their opening fights.
So,
absolutely.
You know, you've got like a lot of guys who are willing to just throw themselves into a round and try to get you these openers in head-to-head fights. And I think that's going to be a real test for Heroic, who are coming into this. You know, they're a squad that are used to like a certain level of respect, a certain level of like tactical, you know, play behind everything.
I also think that has great value, you know, the entry players and the power that you're talking about, because Heroic is such a, especially on the CT side, you already talked about the rotates and the gambles they make, but they're such a tightly knit team, right? Not just in having the synergy, staying together for years, but also in the rounds. They love buddy systems. They love trading really, really effectively. I mean, this is a team that makes ZywOo, one of the best players in the world, play like trash. Like, ZywOo always drops off when he plays Heroic for some reason. That's just one consistency. So if you're able to make one of the best AWPers in the world look, you know, average, that's a testament to your ability as a team and as a roster, and you know, as players with a lot of synergy that we know Heroic have. There's a reason they've been on such a rise the past couple of years. A core lasting over 2 years now at this point. And yeah, 15 months for the whole full roster. So that's a long time in Counter-Strike. You don't see it very often. And through thick and thin have Heroic been. Shush looking for exits. He dies on the way out. Fnatic finds 6 and flawless. They're starting to build up money, Harry. And this is where it can get very hard for Heroic to break the bank back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we kind of said, like, for Heroic, this is an event where none of the other, like, real big boys that have always gotten in the way are here. This is very much their event to win. But I think for Fnatic as well, you know, we kind of said, like, they're a dark horse. But when you actually look at, like, the organization as a whole, this is part of something a lot bigger. You know, this is, like, the rebuilding phase of trying to bring Fnatic back to the legendary org that it once was. You know, they very much dropped off hard over the last few years. And so I think they still want to have a good outing here, right? Like, even though you can say, like, yeah, man, they could just bomb out and no one would really judge them that harshly. I think if you're Fnatic, you know, you still have the majority of, like, the team you want to have at this event. So you're kind of expecting some return on that early on. Let's see. There's a little duel taking place over here at Banana. Forest has been real good at getting these openers, but this time he's naded down low, he's spammed early, and that might force a little more respect out of the guy here. You might have him taper off now, and instead this kind of, you know, this responsibility to go and seek the opener might fall to someone else. Stout's playing behind this smoke now. That spam's going to give it all away. No one's spamming back from Fnatic. They're keeping it very quiet right now.
They're going to sit in the smoke again. They were doing this the other round just to wait for the fade and trying to catch a player at car. More smokes gifted by Cadian. Good timing. But Fnatic are here a little faster than Heroic were ready for. Completely caught. Moving back into the bomb site. Cadian's gone in an instant. Mezzi's even got an orb. Uh-oh, this is going to get scary in a post-spawn. Double orb. Heroic really should be thinking about saves, but smoke spams could get them back in the round, they hope. Don't know if that's going to happen, though. Locked out by utility.
It's a done deal, and you're not even getting out with all 4 players, man. You're committed to the save, and Stown gets shot by Crims going up and over. And so, you know, just having a duck out of this one, man. Fnatic, you know, once again, able to depend on Forest to create this space at Banana. It's kind of wild how just he's getting away with it time and time again.
I mean, that timing was beautiful,
yeah.
Right? Just coming up through the fading smoke, like in Stown's head, he's got a few more seconds before they're worried. Cadian's only just on the angle. He's probably not even looking at his crosshair, probably still looking at the minimap at the time when he gets peeked. And yeah, Fnatic just catch him by surprise yet again. 1 on Crims, he'll live. They saved the double orb. Not ideal, but not the end of the world at the same time. They can wait for maybe some aggression for Heroic. They've already shown mid pushes Banana takes. I think even if Fnatic win this game and get a massive upset to open, I'm not going to doubt them in this tournament. I am excited by the prospect of a honeymoon roster, but at the same time, I think they are going to be limited in their map pool, right? I think they are. When we hit BO3s, it's going to be a lot harder for Fnatic to, you know, steal series away against teams like Heroic. That being said, there's still a lot of teams in this tournament where I would even put Fnatic as favourites up against, right? Teams like Finest, who have come in, obviously been grinding a lot. Swedish core looking really, really good. But, you know, when you go man-to-man, experience to experience, there's no question that Fnatic have, you know, the upper hand there and many of their players. So, yeah, I wonder how things are going to shape out, but already a very good start for Fnatic. 7-3 on the T side of Inferno, and Heroic need answers fast.
Yeah, they really do. And, I mean, you know, you kind of feel like, you know, what do you even try here? You very much attempted, you know, the whole aggression. We had, like, rounds where Refresh pushed down mid with support out of Cadian. You've had Cadian trying to take AWP fights down Banana, trying to pick mid. A lot of this has not worked to give these openers to Heroic, and oftentimes it's afforded Fnatic an early man advantage. Oh. This time it's a real pace change up and towards the A site. Shush, blindsided by it. Cadian misses a smoke timing shot, and they will reclaim a kill over towards long. Now that's going to leave them in an even odds bout, a 4v4. This is actually one of the better chances they've had in a round, and so they've got to give this a go. But the fact that you're looking at this 4-on-4 and you're saying, like, yeah, this is the best spot they've been in, I mean, that kind of speaks volumes as to how this game has gone so far, and it's quickly going to get made worse. Nikados in the apartments is getting hounded down by Stown.
It's done.
Won't give this fight away, and yeah, man, a lot of time's being wasted here. You know, Heroic are out of there with the bulk of this this retake, and even though Stown's going to win that head-to-head, he's just looking to get out with the AWP.
Oh, desperate. I mean, that round looked pretty done already just from Styles' position, being stuck in T-spawn in that 4-on-4 when the bomb was going down. So far away, Heroic needed the opening kill to entice them, and they've not really had them. I'm loving the calling right now for Mezzy. It's very basic, but it's working so well. They're just catching Heroic off guard on really good timings, very poppy plays. You know, right there, one flash over Boiler, boom, they catch a player on short. And you know what Inferno's like, you get that pill, that pick, that kill, you just push off of it. You play off the back of it, presuming you don't get smoked or mollied out, and you take a lot of space very quickly. So Fnatic do a great job of just getting an opener and bouncing off of it.
And I mean, oh, hello. Hang on a moment. I'll hold that thought. Cadian's pushing down mid with the AWP. Going to get out of there. Doesn't want to stick around too long and risk giving up that opener again. But yeah, you know, it's kind of like Mezzy all over. I've said, you know, we've said this about him for the longest time, and that's it feels like no matter what role you give this guy, what responsibility he undertakes, even if he hasn't done it before, he'll just get it nailed down. Like, he'll do it to the best of his ability. And oftentimes, it is kind of about, he'll just perfect the very basics of a role first, like make sure he's got it properly nailed down, and then he like adds on the little bells and whistles to accompany it, right? But I do like that approach. You know, he's not like one of these guys, say like you're an AWP, you know, you hit all the flashy shots, but you can't hit the ones you have to hit. He's very much like just a rock of any team, no matter what role he has to undertake. No, definitely one of my favorite players that Britain's ever produced.
Absolutely. Oh, blind shot. That's more like it. Okay, this is a bread and butter round now for Heroic. 5-on-4, and you can see everyone recedes immediately. Maybe some re-aggro here for refresh, but Cadian's given up the long side and he's going to be freed up to rotate. Meanwhile, Fnatic are in middle with the bulk. They smoke off what was an AWP and they fight refresh on all fronts, but he comes out with a double and the bomb's at his feet. Refresh doesn't even need to play it. He knows with 20 seconds, Fnatic, they are hard-pressed to get into this bomb site. Not just the double pit setup, but Cadian coming back in with Tesses supporting. Fnatic might just have to save, and that is the right call. Even though they've got the money, they try and hang out for some fights to keep the damage on, but Heroic come out with a flawless round, and you can see the value of just winning that opening duel, right? Pushing everyone back into safer positions, but also just limiting Fnatic. They had nothing left to show. Contact out middle with no utility, and Heroic break back. Timeout for Fnatic after they go on a very long streak of 5 rounds. That double AWP is still here for Heroic.
Yeah, and I think it all starts with that, you know, full blinded opening AWP shot from Stown. And then, you know, Heroic was so ready for the reactions. It feels like, you know, they've kind of started to piece this one together as the game's gone on. As we mentioned coming into this, there isn't really anything to go off of or to expect out of this Fnatic squad. And so I think it was always going to take Cadian a little while to, like, get used to how they're playing. But it feels like they're going a bit more, you know, just like guns out, ready for fights, not looking to get caught switching util or repositioning. That was like a big problem early on. It felt like Forest kept hitting these timings up banana, or he would catch players, you know, with util pulled, trying to like jiggle peek from CT for information. It's a lot more like Heroic are now just willing to meet them in these 1v1s and be like properly ready for it. For this round, they fall back into something a little more passive here, right? Set up on this kind of short side boost over at the A-bomb site. They've thrown up Shush.
That's on Rops, by the way. Just remember. Shush is playing Rops. Molly forces respect, but only a little bit. Stown's got a gap, a pocket of air. Lungs full of tar at this point, but got to make do with what you've got. Fnatic will flash their way back into B. Again, Stown is left solo. Unless he has a smoke drop down on the ground, this could be problematic. He needs to hit this first kill, or they're going to try and run him down here. There's the flash, blinded off. Stown has no smoke. He's just going to have to call for Tesses to keep himself in position, so he shall. Good grenade. But won't know the value of it till later. 40 seconds, and the double AWP is here. Cadian's going to re-aggress. And if they kill him, Stown's still a nasty surprise. Fnatic don't know who wields this AWP, not yet. The util's coming over, it's going to be an exec.
Cadian tries to play ahead of this smoke. He wants to take a shot and then duck on out of there. Oh, blinded off the angle, and Crims with an opener in the meantime over on the A side of the map. That's going to slow down this one rotate. However, the Orcs is still here, down around the pillar, trying to slow this down is bested by Roy. Now boosting up, boosting over. Tess says there's the opportunity, and he will deliver the goods, doubles up, and leaves it all on Nikados, who runs out of time here. 3 players still alive for Heroic. They're not able to hunt him down, but that's all well and good. The round's on the board. Little bit of money grandfathered forward into this one for the Heroic gang. They'll take that as they now chain a couple together of their own, and that's in spite of the opener being found for Fnatic. Oftentimes that was, you know, the recipe to success. Lovely opener from Crims at that, right? Very ready for the boost up onto the rock spot. But really, it's boosts on boosts in this round. It's this one from Tessez that helps seal the deal.
I like the Fnatic after they threw the exit. They gave them the room to actually make a play there while Heroic were getting a little bit panicked. There was enough time to do so, but even that CT boost for Heroic is actually perfect. It wasn't required in the sense that there wasn't a smoke down, it was fading, but Fnatic re-naded the spawn to stop someone from pushing. Heroic completely avoid that by going over the top and stopping the bomb, and 2 players with it. Now back to the solo orb. A couple of casualties in the previous round, but Heroic are trying to pull back the half. You know, Fnatic have won the half. They're in no bad spot, but seeing as they're this far ahead, they've got all this money built from these flawless rounds. They'd like a little bit more. Flash back into top B. Orb is going to be forced off the angle with a fire. Ooh, Cadian going to dodge more utility. Deep nades could do damage. The util's been sick for Heroic this game, and it continues to be. Roy put on 35. Forest churned up a little bit. Down stays on the corner, but Fnatic, they've got only 2 Molotovs left. Do they want to use it? One for the corner. Down can fight here. He can commit. Shush has killed the lurk up on the A-bomb site. Crims was moving through apps, and that's as Fnatic left Banana. So things are awkward now. Forest dead from B. It's all falling apart at the seams.
Refresh, getting cheeky with this push. Not going to commit any further. Will they check Boiler? That is the big question right now for Fnatic. Oh, they give it a look in. Roy's going to deal with him. Now there's maybe a way in. Down in the pit, it's Shush who's going to have to put on a bit of a show here. Tess says, running the long smoke, pushing out through Library and peeling the attention away from Shush. He is in the spot to win the round. And so Heroic, they run away with that one. They put a 6th on the board, and they are well and truly closing this game up towards the end of the first half.
I mean, clues in the name. That was such a heroic play for Tessus to go through that smoke there. He knew that Shush had so many eyes on him, and not even on him, because he drops a one-way on the bike and then plays mini pit. So while Fnatic are getting obsessed with that smoke, just shooting it, hoping that there's a player inside of it that they can pick, they're not even looking at him. Tessa just runs through, knows he can go 1-for-1 there. Shush set up to win the round, and Heroic's defense on A has been stellar. The way that Fnatic have managed to win this half has been off of B pops, right? Catching that AWP with really good flashbangs, right? While HEs have been the name of the game for Heroic, the flashes for Fnatic have been round winning in so many previous rounds. So last time here, last chance, and even now limited a bit by the money. Heroic are more than happy with the recovery. But yeah, even with this half of Fnatic, I still think Heroic are going to be solid on that second half and still going to be playing for this comeback. Right, this is the map they took off of Na'Vi in those playoffs back in Antwerp. They let it go here for a reason, even though Fnatic were always going to be comfortable on a map like Inferno. Ooh, messy spray through the smoke. Roy wins it. 3-on-3, some duels at B early went the way of Heroic, and they will continue to do up in middle. Cadian smokes out as the molly fades, and it's down. That could have been double, that could have been the round, but Roy will trade, and now he's on for a 1v3.
Yeah, not going to be easy, though. Not with Tessa already having moved on round, and he won't commit to the B play. Roy's trying to get tricky with this one. Rooting his way back in through middle. Now looking for the A hit. Cadian is still here. And I think at this point, Roy assumes he's been successful in the fake. Cadian still being there is a real problem. And so it's Heroic with 7 to close out that first half of play. Fnatic, you know, they put that big, you know, 5-round streak together right in the middle there. That was where things were really looking up for them. But it's quickly cancelled out as Heroic kind of grind their way back in towards the end of the half.
Yeah, and all led by, you know, Cadian. Really, really good opening kills on that CT side. He was the one player who started strong for Heroic out of the gate, and he kept it going. Some nice reads, some nice rotates on that CT half. Nothing too shabby. Although 8 rounds is going to be more than enough for Fnatic to close. We'll see what Heroic are going to bring to the table right now on their T side. Messi with a kit double flash. Cadian's got his grenades. Even gets a bit of a tag on the cross. P250 is so lethal in these pistol rounds. They saw Forest there. They saw him on the jump. Cadian's got to be aware. They're going to try and chase him down in the bedroom. Forest didn't know that his position had been rumbled, and he grumbles as he dies first. Tesses finds 2 as he plays gun game into this A site. And now with the bomb going down, this round should be Heroics.
Yeah, wow, dude. Tesses is not playing around today. That was beautiful. You know, even having the bait out on the short side, I don't remember who it was that kind of, you know, S-tagged it with the jump out and just B-hopping around to draw the attention away. But it was really nice. It let Tesses double up, and that's essentially, you know, secured the round on the back of it. We're already up past Cadian over here in the apartments and on the short side, but none of it will really come to matter. Tesses is still putting up numbers, his 3rd kill in the round. The ace is going to get denied, and Messi is just running for the hills trying to get out of there. So Heroic, it is a nearly flawless pistol. How on earth did Refresh just die to the bomb? He was like pretty far away. He was an arch.
Was it the bomb? Or did he not get shot earlier? I thought he got shot.
Oh, maybe he did.
Maybe I'm crazy. I wasn't really I wasn't really too worried about Heroic's casualties in the pistol anyway. Round's around, mate. Doesn't matter how you slice it. 8-8. And this is how the comebacks begin, Harry. Yeah, Refresh died to the bomb, you're right.
I knew it.
I should have trusted him.
I didn't see anyone get a kill. I was like, okay. Hugo knows more. Roy naded. Doesn't love that.
And also, why are you questioning the bomb radius? We've seen a man die in banana to an A-pod on this map.
But he had one health.
It was a backside plant and he had 1 health. But that's crazy, mate. Considering you can live on the B side of Nuke, you can just sit on the bomb and it doesn't kill you. You know, like, every map's different. Obviously, Inferno pretty small. Like a small dust.
No, that's the opposite.
Well, dust is a big Inferno.
Yeah, dust
is
a big Inferno.
So Inferno's a small dust.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Roy waiting in this smoke. They might have naded him down low earlier. But who's laughing now? Is it Roy? Is he grinning? Is he winning? Because his teammates are not. Forest dead in the apartments. Roy.
Oh, it's perfect, but it's a disaster.
Good timing, bad execution. Dignitas tries to do it all, but it's only good for 1, and it's left to Messi. 1v2 now, and his Deagle is so clean, man, but Stown there to trade it, there to put a stop to that. There was a real chance. That 1v3 falls to a 1v1 on the back of like 2 quick jiggle peeks with the Dig. And luckily enough, Stown was there to keep everything in line.
He killed 2. He killed 2, Harry. He got another.
No, he just saw
He got 1, and then he got another.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That adds up.
That's crazy. Good round for Heroic, but boy, that was an eco for Fnatic, and it got very, very close. Some well-placed Deags in the bomb site, but now an eco, and only 2 HEs behind it.
Who has the Deagle? Nico doth have the Deagle.
Nico doozy.
It's a Nico doozy. Back of the B site. Oh, we're just a Deag. And Big dreams, here he is with the first. Dignitas getting run down, but he's in with a double. There's still more where that came from. Heroic are going to try and go back, try to evade capture from this Dig. He's now armed with an AK, now that much more dangerous. 30 seconds left on this one. There wasn't meant to be a hope in hell, but Dignitas battle-hardened and bruised on this rotate around. Shush is here to try and put a stop to it, and the Deagle will have its reign of terror brought to an end. It's a damn good try. It certainly put the fear in Heroic, but they respond to it well in that situation there, right? Just ducking out with time left, going back into an A play, and safeguarding that round, not letting it get out of hand.
Two very good ecos for Fnatic, right? It doesn't, you know, you can't always credit the rounds that are lost, but they make them damn close. They make them damn scary. So Heroic's economy is set to just be destroyed in this one rifle round, and that can level the game out 10-10 very quickly. So Fnatic come in with the buy. Dignitas on the orb. Already talked about Cadian's impact in the first half with his. Dignitas has to be the same. It's up in the apartments. Forest on Rob's going to stop the first and drop off to leave Dignitas to take next contact. He's got a smoke deep right now. In that phase, Refresh has to cross through the apartments. Forest backing up. Dignitas also concerned about short. The long smokes come in. Crims has lost info, and Heroic are going to use that mist to back out and wait. Maybe Stown gets given a B pick. Fnatic right now not making that mistake. Cadian armed with the utility to set his team up, but no flashes right now. Minutes on the clock. Still 3 strong. And Dignitas is re-aggressing.
Oh, it's good timing on this. They've just left the angle. Just shot in the back, and there might even be more where that came from. Flashed out into the middle. Dignitas good for it. And it's only Refresh left now. 1v5 out through the apartments. He's got 30 seconds. Dignitas is hunting him. Look at this. The Orb's moving in. Not ready for it. And that is vintage. Dignitas getting stuck in every step of the way to put that round on the board for Fnatic.
He's got to be one of the best unverified Twitter players in the game right now. I think he must be. There's probably not many up there right now.
Pretty sure. Hang on a moment here.
No, don't fall for the Don's bait, Harry. He's not verified.
I thought it was bait.
It is bait. It's Dignitas. Of course he's not verified. Come on, get it together. You guys have that in common, at least.
Why are you acting like you're verified?
Hey, if I don't apply for it, then of course I don't get it. You know, I can't lose if I don't try, Harry. Stay winning.
Inspiring
Stay
words.
unverified. Everyone's got it nowadays. It's almost better to not.
Can't lose if you never try.
Exactly.
Put that up in some like Calibri font.
Next
ocean
to the live, laugh,
picture
love.
in the background, you know, like it's like a sunset over the ocean.
I'll put it next to my Harry makes a house a home.
Failure does not come to those who never try.
Exactly. How inspiring. Great shots by Dignitas. Now Fnatic, like I said, that was all it took. 1 round off the back of those impactful eco rounds, right? They lose them both, but they get 4 and 3 kills in those rounds. So they set Heroic up for an eco. This should be a freebie, just 2 flashes, 1 to get Banana and 1 to get the bomb site. But already Panic has called for more rotation. Mezzi's asking for some support, flashes over the top of the box, and he's going to peek out with them. They run Spawn, but he stops them in their tracks. 3 kills. Roy helps out rather with a double, and Mezzi does make it 3 after all. 10 rounds to Fnatic. They find it flawless, as they always should have, and now Heroic come back in with the big guns.
You know, one of the questions for us was Mezzi going to fall off individually, what with undertaking the IGL responsibilities? I think he's looked kind of pretty damn stable thus far.
I again want to say, not only are we on the first map, but I think on Inferno, it's a lot more free. You are going to be leaving your players on the T sides especially. On CT, I don't think it's going to have as much impact. Yeah, you've got to deal with some rotations, but the good thing that you have for Fnatic is 5 very experienced firstly. Very experienced players, and so they're going to be able to take the reins themselves a little bit. On those T sides, Mezzi's going to be working his angle and Banana with Roy entering, and he's going to leave Crims up in the apartments to do his own thing. You know, there's going to be little bubbles of and pockets of players that are doing their own thing. I think when you move to a map maybe like a Nuke T side, or you know, you're trying to put together like a slow mid-round on Dust, it's going to be a little more difficult to maybe find your footing individually. But yeah, I agree. He's doing well so far. But I don't think this is the true test.
No. Yeah, that's fine. Well, here he is. Man of the hour, Mezzi. Ooh, out of ammo now, having to fight it with a P2, but he don't want to give it up. He don't want to give it up so freely. Well, eventually concede. Stounds grabbed himself an A1S, and now is the smoke for CT available as well. He is getting wrapped through middle. He's going to turn around to try and deal with this. Oh, Nikador's one step ahead, though. And that AWP rallies off another multi-kill round from the man. And Fnatic are now back in the lead, Hugo.
Yeah, this is impressive, safe to say, right? Heroic have only had a couple of gun rounds in this half, and really, Fnatic have been the better roster all the way through. I'm just kind of coping deep down that Heroic are going to pick it up at some point, but you haven't got forever. You haven't got all day. This is only a BO1 to open up Group A, folks. Our next game going to be big, taking on MIBR, also in the same group. 4 teams to go through the playoffs. Double elim playoff bracket. It's a very cool format here at Pinnacle. Something a bit different. But obviously you want to go through flawless to get that top seed going into the playoffs. Makes it double elim for you. Nikadors does him again at the top of Banana, taking down Stown, and no response. Heroic mollied out. 3 players here for Fnatic, lobbing in their util and already bailing a rotate. Mezzi's going to move back to that A site. He is needed.
Crims could nail the timing here, right? Well, they are considering the long push. Eventually, these guys on short are just going to have to hard dedicate, and with Cadian missing that shot, that is the bomb now dropped in middle, and Heroic are getting pincered from both sides. It's Forest and Crims in tandem, picking them apart. Tess says that is a thing of beauty. Doubles up on the transfer. However, he's still left in a 1v3. The odds are still stacked against him here. Ollie over at long, but it falls too far, and Crims is there to hold down the angle and lay that one to rest very, very quickly. Fnatic 12-10, building upon this lead, starting to run away with this one. This new look squad that was meant to reignite our faith in Fnatic. Maybe about to take this opening BO1 versus the Heroic guys, a group who, you know, it felt like this was their tournament to win. They might be the first team to cop an L here to this this newly emblazoned Fnatic squad.
How interesting would that be, right? Again, not just the fact that Fnatic would come in firing on all cylinders, but Heroic, the favourites to win the entire thing, the highest rated team in the tournament, just coming off of a major playoff run. I say run, I guess, you know, going out in quarters, but up against back-to-back majors, they lose to the grand finalists, to the second place team. It was G2, they lost to the semis in Stockholm. They lose to Na'Vi in the quarters. With, firstly, I'll say this about, like, you can laugh at the Heroic stage meme. They performed in that game. They put up a damn good show. They got a 30-round loss map. They won their map cleanly of Inferno. And yeah, okay, third map a little more dominant, but they took Na'Vi to 3 and they put up a 30-round game. I think that's, you know, a lot better for Heroic, and I think they can be happy with that. But they shouldn't be happy with losing this opener in an event that they're poised to win. Fnatic, they're looking very free right now.
This is also like the environment that Heroic normally do their best work in. You know, it's kind of lower pressure. Like, yeah, you're on LAN, you love that part of it, but you know, you don't have all these people in the stands. Like, you don't have all these onlookers. None of that. You know, this is where oftentimes it's very, very clean, and right now it's not. Refresh, gonna deal with the pit player in Forest. However, the rest of his team are falling like flies, and there's Roy with the closer. Fnatic up onto 13. They deal with that eco without even really breaking a sweat. The little apps pop does not get the mileage that Heroic were hoping for. And now Cadian feeling the pressure. He's going to have to cook something up here. Maybe a time to bring in old mate Exist, right? Yeah. Exist v Forest. Both in kind of different positions, but hell, Maybe he's got some choice words for the gang. No, they're just going to play on. They're going to roll with the punches here, hoping that, you know, just playing with the momentum, they can build the round back up now and put a stop to this.
Oh dear, that might force a smoke out of Stound as it spread last second. He seems to be fine for now. Dignitas again looks for the opener. Right back down Banana. A little bit more audacious this time, but still not peeking deep, not feeding what could be a T-side orb. It's not. Heroic is rifled for now. So you talk about exist, but I think even Keita deserves a noteworthy mention. Obviously a very experienced coach, not just from Fnatic fame, but prior was in Complexity in that Blame F roster. So I think he's going to be somewhat the glue of Fnatic here with this new team, helping Mezzi find his footing in a new role. I think all these things are very good for Fnatic. There's the pick attempt, and it's denied. Stound will find Dignitas with a missed shot onto the Logs player, and the long gap opened up. Tesses has the knife in the back right now. Messi doesn't know. He's going to go through the smoke. Stound doesn't need to fight this, knowing there is a player coming in through CT spawn, and that will confirm the round. Right then and there, Forest is left alone to save his gun, and Heroic finally break in on the T side.
Yeah, I don't think Heroic feel like this game is out of their hands just yet, right? I think that's kind of demonstrated by how they haven't really called out attack pause despite losing these last few rounds. They're very, very keen to the moment they had guns, you know, they kind of had like an idea as to what they wanted to do, and we're seeing the results of that now. They keep 4 alive here. It's a super clean round by the standards of Heroic in this game so far, right? 4 alive. It's a nice bit of a cash injection here for this T side. Fnatic is still buying up in the following though, right? And it's going to take you a long while to break through this money. And that's even with, you know, AWPs coming out into play, even with these rounds getting costly if they do end up, you know, starting to rack up a bit of a body count on the side of Heroic. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a real grind to get back into this game. So all the more credit if they're able to do it.
Sigma grind set required for Heroic. But they've been through it before. Fnatic can't afford to get ahead of themselves here with a very slight lead on the CT side. An AWP for Cadian.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like the real grind set is to let your opponent get to 16 grand, because then you have like, you know, then your haters on like a higher level, which will only spur you on to
Rob and Bly.
outperform them.
Give them 15 only to steal it away in overtime. I like how you're thinking. Oh, boost up. Oh, he's ready for it down. He found the pocket in front of the molly, in front of the smoke behind the molly. Nice little spot. Will get traded, and Cadian follows up. Roy pushed down Banana, but on the fade, it's Cadian with a pick. And again, Heroic are gifted another opener. This is lovely. Look at the lurk timing for Tesses. Now, his team don't need to commit here. They should just wait for him to get the space up through the motor smoke. He can just walk right through. Man like Tesses, he's going to walk right through. And no one's even considering this play. Dignitas, the barrel, gives him away. Too hung for his own good, but he still hits the shot. That's sickening. Forest is dead from the apartments. Dignitas, he's smoked out. They're coming from above, below, inside, outside, everywhere at the same time. Dignitas needs to be fast, but he can't follow up. He's gone. Crims is alone, and Heroic seem to have found a 12th after all.
Yeah, it looked promising there for a moment. Like Fnatic were going to recover that. You know, they lost a man early. They lost Mezzi getting boosted. Then it was traded like immediately by Roy. He tries to commit to that aggression down. Banana is caught by a bit of an unfortunate like smoke fade timing. And then you thought like Dignitas after hitting that timing, maybe there was a chance, but too good to be true for Fnatic. Oh. And Crims is even located right at the very end there. So the gap is starting to get closed again. Heroic activating late in this second half of play, much akin to how that first half went down. And this time they're looking to stick the landing. And I think at this point as well, you know, they're starting to realize that what with the relative inexperience of someone like Mezzi and how many fights are being taken early on, what that does mean is that there will be gaps, you know, to facilitate like a 3-man B lean early on. There's going to be a gap somewhere at A, and it feels like Tesses is really coming into his own at, you know, finding and exploiting those little gaps in the defense of Fnatic.
How the hell does Dignitas get that kill as well?
Yeah, that one's kind of wild. You know, like, you know that in the back of his head, what with him being the guy watching mid, he knows there is a world where that timing could have been hit. But I do think, like, to be ready for it, as he was, to be ready for it so quickly, so concisely. Imagine how that feels if you're Testez. You're like laughing to yourself, man, I've got the best timing. I can see his AWP barrel. He's so dead. And then he just wide swings you out of nowhere.
So, yeah, just shocking. Oh, that flash actually saves Dignitas' life. Okay, it was posted, and Dignitas is poised for a pick. Finds down this time. And okay, it's often been either 1-for-1s at the early start of the round, or Heroic go 5-on-4. Now it's Fnatic with the lead. Heroic, they just want to explode. They want to pop right here, right now. That molly is going to segregate them, cut them into two. One's at the bomb site. Messi didn't know, he couldn't stop it. Trying to pick that player out of the apartments. Cadian's even stopped the aggression down Banana from the T-spawn. Oh. What a nerd. Oh. Crims is here, though, to get his revenge.
As if, man, Cadian is going to be kicking himself, rotating through alt middle. Crims was there already. They're going to fall to Testez and Shush. 2 versus 2, tucked in the pit. Fnatic grouping on the long side. Dignitas with this AWP. Crims fighting alongside him. Oh, bam, it's close. It's so nearly connected. Does he want to attempt it again?
Gotta go.
It's the swing. Crims now dead, and Dignitas just going to get away. Just going to elude capture. But it's not the saving of the AWP that's important, it's the equalizer for Heroic. They get that round past the Fnatic squad that had the opener, had the 5-on-4, had everything they needed to make that round happen. And yet it's Heroic, still left standing at the end of things.
I love Heroic's system is so nice because everyone has faith, everyone believes. Right? It's not just, it's kind of like outsiders in them all buying into James' system and like, wow, this is crazy, but at least everyone's on board. Like, it's clear these young players trust Cadian with every call he makes, but not just that. When a player goes, I have room, give me space, give me time, everyone buys in for Heroic. Like, there, Messi knew a player dropped out apps, but he wanted to double up. He wanted the apartments player to overface before the player on the site actually did, but that apartments player just tucked in, let you know the guy who already got out run down Messi with a 1-for-1, and Fnatic, yeah, 5-on-4 meant nothing. They just get wrecked on the A site. Heroic have got 14, they've broken through, just saving a little bit of this and that AWP double kept for Fnatic. And this is kind of what I was worried about, but also expecting a little bit at the end of the first half. A great T side for Fnatic, but you're not going to catch Heroic, you know, losing faith in the comeback on such a home map that is Inferno, one that has been really solid for them as of late. So cutting down these saving players, Crims can afford to die, especially if it means getting an AK, but Heroic will send the MAC-10s to hunt. So even if Crims gets a kill here, he will die, he will be traded, and Dignitas just needs to save. Careful, buddy, they're all around you. But it will be fine. 14 rounds for Heroic, and Fnatic with their one chance to keep this game going. I think, you know, a lot of people want Fnatic to win because it would be cool, and a lot of people don't like Heroic. Fair enough, but at the same time, to give us the best bracket and the best run, I think it'd be nice to see not only Heroic win that first game, but Fnatic to actually show that, yeah, we're here to play. We're here to win our next game. We're here to take some heads off in this tournament. Maybe it won't be the #1 team at the event, but even if they go 16-13 they lose, this is a damn good try for Fnatic. Put up a great first game here. Let's see if they can close it. As we know, that can be the hardest bit in Counter-Strike. Just to finish the job.
Yeah, looking like they want to go back into one of these B plays. Gonna leave Refresh over in the apartments just to still have a bit of claim towards that A bomb site if things do go awry here over at Banana. They've got the real estate they want here in a kind of like default setup. They can go to B, they can lean back into the A play thanks to Refresh still being there. And so right now, Heroic feel like they have a lot of options here. This is going to have to come down to like a stalwart defense out of Fnatic. And actually, it feels like they've got the read here. They're starting to pull Roy over. We'll decide against it for a moment, and maybe that's to his credit as Cadian's now gone back to Banana with the bomb. This looks like it's just a fake from him, right? He's lobbed a bit of util over the top and now rejoins the team in top middle. One smoke left to play with. They've not left themselves with a lot here. The lack of utility could really come back to punish Heroic. They're going to have to go through this smoke on the long side. That gives Dignitas open angles to deal with this push. And with Moto smoke, they've got to go now. They've got to go while this AWP is cut out of the round. Refresh dispatches of him, but is that going to be enough? Realistically, it shouldn't. However, Refresh never knowing when to stop. Cadian moves in, gets the plant, is going to get spammed, still alive, up and over, 1v2. Cadian, this would be wild, however, Crims in with the reply. Was he mid-air when he got that? That was the jump shot, right?
USP, mid-air, headshot. And that was Cadian prime for a clutch. You don't give Cadian a 1 second plant and think he's not going to give it his all. That was very scary. What a save for Refresh with a double out of apartments, picking Dignitas off of the long side and finding the pit player. It poised Cadian for a round, but Fnatic, they just run at him. They don't give him any room.
I've got to say, there was just like one moment in this round that like I feel like could have made such a difference, and that's that Cadian went back to B to lob one singular flash into the B site to fade the B player.
Kept Roy there.
And don't get me wrong, it did keep a player there, it nailed that part of it. But it also meant they had like no flashes, no util for the actual A hit. And I don't know if that was like a, hang on a moment, look at this, fast round.
Disrespect.
Fast round. Dignitas not ready for it as they try to pick up the pace even more. It will get brought to a bit of a grueling stop here. Crims over at long does not want to let them in, and look at Forest.
No way.
So many targets, so many chances. In with two. Can't quite make it a third, but he's done his job in the round, hasn't he? And so Fnatic just 1 kill away from putting 15 on the board.
Just Tessez. And Roy has crept into the cubby as well. Just snuck his way in. That double long setup. Fnatic, Heroic were reading a triple B. It wasn't the right call. And Tess says he's got 2 players to get through on just this one angle. Crims is going to find it. And Fnatic find match point in the opening BO1 debut new roster against top 8 of the major. And right now they're poised 5 kills away from locking out Heroic from this first game. What an opener this has been. I love that Heroic go for the disrespect round, right? Trying to find that long gap. But Fnatic meet them right there. They go, oh, you want to hold W? Watch us hold W. And Forrest just comes through apps. He trigger disciplines 3 players. Yeah. And it almost looks like he's thrown the round, but saves it with a double kill. And Fnatic push up on short. They re-aggro long. They set up in the cubby. Just keeping Heroic contained in that round in middle. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And now Heroic, they're calling timeouts. Yeah. They're feeling the burn, Harry.
This is a championship level team, a team that coming into this are meant to be the kind of Iron Giant, you know, the one that you're not meant to be able to get past. They're meant to be like the final boss of this event.
Goliath, but when he steps on David, it just kills him immediately.
And on the other side, it's the Fnatic that was meant to relaunch our faith in the Fnatic organization, in their CSGO division, and they might be about to win this opening BO1 versus the favorites to win the whole damn event.
I got faith.
It's one hell of an opener, isn't it? 15-14, round 30 coming up now, and Dignitas going to attempt this opening pick down through middle. No one there. They're all in alt mid right now. Cadian's even starting to scope up on top.
Yeah, Dignitas had a pretty quiet first half, but this CT side, he has just been at the beck and call of Heroic's opening kills. He has been providing a lot of 5-on-4s, often traded, have Heroic found themselves, but even so, he's been very good at that. Crims is taking all the risks in the smoke. They're going to run right into him, and they don't even know. Everyone's blind. God. He lets them by, and he stabs him in the back, but one more man made it through, and he still kills Cadian before Stown gets his revenge.
That is wild. And now they know about Stown over on the long side. Someone's keeping an eye on this. They're waiting for him. He's going to try and cut off the rotations. Roy, not ready for it. And a 3-on-3 as Roy's given that one away. 50 seconds now. It all comes down to this ace site hold. Dignitas fighting alongside Forest. They need to put up a stand or else this one is run back again in overtime.
It's a really good call, just a full group here to get Stown back with his team. They'd love to go B off killing Roy, but they're so deep, they're so set up, they're just going to trade these frags out on short.
And here they go, Moto Smoke goes in, Flash to accompany it, now they hit the go button. Missed shot for Dignitas, Forest dead after one.
Oh,
this
no.
Torp now, the only thing standing, Messi's moved in on the long side. It's a 1v1 to close. Refresh versus Dignitas, not giving away the fight, not yet.
Oh.
And Dignitas is gonna close. Fnatic, 16-14, they run away with the opening game. And for Heroic, it's devastation, the full 30 rounds, but they can't complete the comeback.
Well, let's find out. We're getting right into things. Big CT-sided start on Nuke as well. Golden didn't want them on this map, and well, we already saw Heroic go to Inferno, and they lost that. So already map pools getting scary to start the day, start these BO1s. Group A, folks. Winner obviously going to be going on to face Fnatic. Searson, he's found that first pick. They're trying to drop and split on this A site. They're getting denied at each turn. Crimbo, there's 2 guns there, and he's going to put them to use. Find one, looking for exit in the hut, but he will just have to exit this round now. 10 health, and Big are hunting him down. Crimbo will close, and it's Big with a flawless pistol.
Yeah, you know, for MIBR, they've kind of been on like a real roller coaster of emotions recently, right? When it came to reaching the major, we obviously saw them go through the RMRs 3-0, but then their journey had a pretty abrupt end in the challenger stage, right? Like just kind of grinded to a halt. And then for Big, on the other side of things, these guys went out 1-2 when we got to the next stage at the major, right? Getting eliminated to Vitality in the Legend stage. So, you know, I think both these teams didn't necessarily have the results they wanted. I think that's more of a standout for Big, as it is for MIBR, who are obviously very emotional that they were at the major at all.
I think for Big, the big reason was they went through 3-0 in RMR, right? And it wasn't just that, taking legit wins, but they managed to, I think they 2-0'd FaZe in that game. Remember that 14-14 round they won on the Eco Mirage? They 2-0'd FaZe, the eventual winners of the major, back at the RMR. So they skipped the whole challenger stage. They never played, MIBR obviously never got through to Legends. And then Big were, yeah, they were kind of underwhelming at Legends. I think we had higher hopes, not just the fact that Crimbo was performing on his first major, and Big have the roster that Dinko put. You know, this is finally the team that we've been waiting for Big, the best German team we could imagine right now, given current form. And yeah, they kind of were underwhelming in the Legend stage, which was a bit of a shame. But that can certainly happen to teams who go through 3-0 and then maybe aren't as warmed up to the LAN environment.
You were willing to put like some caveats by it, right? With the whole idea that for a lot, you know, for a few of these guys, it was like biggest event, you know, yet kind of vibe. You know, while that very much applied to folks like Crimbo, obviously, I think even for other guys, you know, like Searson, for example, it's still like a very big deal, despite him having a longer tenure with Big.
Well, the bigger the deal, the larger the meal. And we hope Big have an appetite today.
Is that what they say?
That is what they say, they being I, and I say that they are rushing the A site right now. Flashes over the top, and Faven, he's on top all right, sitting on the silo. Tabson's got a deep molly. That traps Jota in the door, but he wins his fight anyway. 3-on-3, and MIBR have managed to mangle their way back into this round, and BLUEJAYS Enazan with a pick out the top site. He will die shortly after. Big collapse upon them eventually and find that 3-0 lead. That was getting out of control for a moment, but the man just mentioned, the new boy on the block for MIBR, obviously filling in, not filling in, maybe temporary, maybe permanent, we'll see, for Woody, who recently departed this team, is a guy who's played on the MIBR Academy team and even played on this main roster back in January, right? It was last spring, I think, where they played some Tier 1 teams. I think they got one victory there, like one BO3 win, but mostly lost to teams like Astralis and RVG, teams that they should be losing to. So he's had a bit of experience at the Tier 1 level of CS, and I think that has been something that for MIBR as a roster and for these players, who some of which are very inexperienced on the big stages, I think something like Blast has been great for them to get the experience against Tier 1 teams, against European opposition, and in officials, in high-pressure officials. And so at least BLUEJAYS Enazan has had a bit of a taste. But it's only going to get harder, Harry.
Yeah, I think Big are a very tricky team for underdogs to beat. I think, you know, Big's kind of limitations really shine through when they play versus other tier 1 opposition, right? I think whenever you are coming into a game versus this squad as an underdog, you normally have a bit of a rough time because they do the kind of foundations of Counter-Strike just super solidly, and especially here on Nuke, they're very astute when it comes to the rotations. That round there was actually a good example of it. They already had 2 dudes down on B playing a crossfire pretty much right out of the gate. The moment like the fast A hit didn't come through, the kind of precedent that's been set so far is if there's this early util, then the end destination is going to be A. And it looks like that's going to be more of the same here. This is...
What?
Favern. Thought he was caught on the vent. Doesn't matter. Jota's still dead, and that's the bomb now out in the open. Yeah, this is a little flat from MIBR to start, if I'm being honest. You know, it's very obvious right now what the intention is. Every time they've lobbed the A utility out of spawn, they've gone A. And so that's not like... It's not really putting a lot of pressure on Big right now. You know, they're lobbing all this utility right at the start of the round, and they're getting a good return on investment from it. I would love for this to lead for some like long-term conditioning. You know, maybe the idea that MIBR in one of these rounds, maybe the next gun round, they throw that A util, but they don't commit to the push, right? They just, they throw it in to bait a bunch of utility out of Big, and then they maybe slow it down and look elsewhere, because going in for another one of these top hits so early on when it just hasn't really worked, and you've kind of like set this precedent of when the util comes in, we're following through, like Big are just ahead of the curve, man. They're already here.
Ooh, if that's online, he hits it. Searson, slow to start, has given an orb over. He's 7 and 2, so not that slow. 1 missed flick. We'll let him off. 20 seconds, probably the save, unless Tabson has something to say. Good spot for Exit to deny exactly that. Oh, he shoots into the metal. Oh, that one hurts. That's a bad way to go out. Tabson buying time, flashing himself back in, trying to get rid of this orb, and it will fire at the right time. I think AWPing has been a question for this MIBR team. I got the pleasure of casting them in Portugal, in Lisbon, the other day against OG in a show match for 50K. And obviously, we've just lost the AWPer of MIBR. And so that's given big questions, considering Bir Erazan has not been known to be a primary AWPer his whole playing career. He was donning it more secondary to, I think it was cello, actually running the AWP mostly for MIBR in that game. That was, of course, I think their first match, adding this guy back into the roster. But yeah, relative inexperience and a lot of question marks when it comes to AWP prowess here for MIBR. And up against a player like Searson, regardless of that missed shot, like Searson is such an explosive AWPer. A lot of firepower on Big. This was always going to be a very hard game for MIBR.
All right, Hugo, give me your thoughts on this. Gobby's return.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful to have him back, isn't it? This kind of duo of Gobby and Tabson, I think, makes Big very, very scary. It lends a lot of onus to these tack timeouts.
Yeah.
I think Gobby, he's always had the brains to lead in Counter-Strike, right? It was only kind of towards the end of his career where the individual numbers weren't quite there. He made that decision to take a bit of a step back. And I think he left it on like a good high note as well.
Definitely.
Which is, you know, definitely the way you want to do it. You know, he didn't hang around like for ages in this big old slump and like, you know, let that kind of drag down Big. He always had ambitions greater than just his role within a team. He wanted the team to be the best they can. And I think the duo of him and Tabson working together in tack timeouts is a really strong feature for Big.
Yes, I think one big point, I hate that, but I'm going to keep
going.
One mahusive point is that the fact that he would leave at the point he did, because I don't know the name of the event, but he qualified for something in Valorant, right? Tell me exactly.
Okay, yeah. So he played through the promotion series to the main like VCT challenges stage, which is a big deal in that game. And upon qualifying, he left the team to come and coach the CS
as a player, by the way.
As an IGL.
He qualified, and then he left. What that screams to me is he has faith in this big roster, right?
Yeah.
He actually has faith in the 5 they've amassed today, and as Dinko was saying, it's the best German team that we can imagine right now, and certainly seems to be the case. And if Gobby has faith, you already know Tabson has faith. He's had better offers. He's had bigger options. But it doesn't matter. He's wanted to stay in this German roster, and they're all the better for it. So right now, MIBR are just trying to shuffle their way into the A site, get this AWP involved. tabseN's not overstepping. Crimbo kills 2, and this round is a wash for Big. 4 alive. Easy does it. Crimbo's look solid, even coming into Legend stage of the Major. Not like he dropped off massively. And of course, very inexperienced player comparative to his teammates, or at least some of them. But despite that, massive clutcher, strong anchor player, was the in-game leader of his academy team coming into this one. So yeah, okay, maybe he doesn't have that experience, but in terms of having ideas to add alongside the strat book of tabseN and Gob, Crimbo's got it all, man. He's the full package, the full enchilada.
TYLOO's getting aggro outside. Expect to see a good deal of this from him. He's waiting for a silo peek, and oh, it's all on a bit of a timing as he's getting wrapped by Turtle. Over here at ramp, Crimbo holds the line. Jota goes through that smoke and comes to regret that decision. Tizian's even re-aggroing in the lobby.
Cheeky.
Super deep on this angle, right? You might be checking for like a hot push. You might be checking for a door push, but something tells me you don't check Tizian. And cello gonna learn about him the hard way. They're coming back to flush him out, but faveN's now there to lend a helping hand. And so this gets very rough very, very quickly for MIBR. It's all on Turtle.
Make a shell joke now. He's coming out of his shell. And Turtle with a big 1v3.
Doing just fine. In with the first. faveN removed. Turtle with the double. 3 in the round now. Just Crimbo left to be.
Got the bomb, mate. Got to go back for it, but we'll grab it just in time. Does he want to dive? It'd be dangerous, but Turtle... Oh, he looks danger straight in the face. Crimbo's made that early call, though. He's actually going to drop ramp. This is very good timing. Turtle's in the open. Turtle's a dead man. Oh, dear. The shell won't save you from bullets, buddy. As Crimbo comes in with a clutch, we said he was good for them, and so he is. Turtle, he wanted to get the best possible timing with the plant, knowing that he was being heard, potentially. So he didn't get behind cover, but definitely comes to regret it. Big, keep it flawless.
Go on, Hugo. Do you know any interesting Turtle facts? Or just really anything about them, like a rough kind of bio? Or...
Yeah, man. They go on the EAC, dude. An East Australian card, man. It's gnarly.
That's what's his name? Crush.
Crush, bro.
Crush. Yeah.
I need another Crush line. I can't think of any. It's been a while. But Finding cello, great movie. Would recommend it.
Yeah, it's a real, pulls on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
It's about a man who learns to love through music, actually. And it's all about trying to find his cello once it gets swapped up in luggage dispute.
It's like Whiplash, but with like a lot less swearing from J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons? Is that his name? Something Simmons. I've just pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, of course, my favorite actor. Acting up all right. Wildin', some say. Little boost on red, perhaps, with the AK. cello. Just string something together here on outside. csgo's going to fall out of heaven, reinforce ramp. Outside is open for business. And I love this for MIBR. Even though Big have a player lower, tabseN doesn't know that 3 players have just walked through this gap outside. He's got to get something done here. Rifle in first. cello ducks the shot and gets down to 9. But now MIBR, that B site is looking ripe.
Crimbo is here. As is csgo. That nade could be juicy. cello's knocked out. Crimbo's moving in for a second attempt at this fight, and now he's cleaned out Turtle as well. Yeah, Enazan dead on the rotation, and this starts to get super weird now. With Crimbo already inside of the site, MIBR's attention is divided. Exit has helped out massively dealing with faveN, and they still don't know where Jota is in amongst all this madness.
Nice.
They flushed out Exit, now they learn about Jota in the double doors. They're running him down, and he can't quite hold the line. Double swung, double peaked. Big have cleaned that one up to keep this scoreline flawless.
Oh, I want a gif of that. Just Gob fist bumping tabs, some big thumbs up, you know, Dweg-esque, and very, very nicely done. That's 2 nearly 1v3 clutches coming through for MIBR, or rather not coming through, as Big keep it clean, keep it flawless. Crimbo, he's so calm on the bomb site there. He could have panicked, could have tried to hunt more kills after taking down the planter, but he just waits on the rest of his team to you know, wrap the blanket around the bomb site, and MIBR, they just feel the burn there. Flanks on flanks down vent, won't save them today. Early util A, they're not rushing it though, Harry. This is what you wanted. Bit more util force had a big, some response, some reaction. Some nades go out, a lot of spam. MIBR, they're gonna go though, they're just delaying it by a few seconds.
Flash over the top, Tizian's up close. Cello's been dealt with, but they are out through the hut. Faven needs to contain this, needs to keep them from spilling into the A bomb site. And he might be good for the double. That was the opportunity. Exit's gotten out of there. Able to stay alive, that's something at least, right? If he falls, the round is probably too far gone. But now, you know, you're only a man down compared to the ranks of Big. And they're actually re-aggressing here, sending Searson on a deep angle into lobby. This is a high-risk, high-reward maneuver, right? You've at least got support available from ramp. These two could look to pincer a bit of a lobby engagement at the drop of a hat. Ota thinks he's been given space, but in reality, this is a bit of a ruse. Faven is just going to pounce when the time feels right. Searson's even able to swing out of the hut and help him if he needs it. I don't think he will, though. Faven's got the drop on them. That's the bomb out in the open. Searson waits and is rewarded for it. And it's a clean setup here for Big. Enezan dies to Searson back in the hut. And no scope through the wall to find him. I just look at the camera after doing that to a guy.
That was sick. That was dirty. And yeah, rinse, repeat right now for Big. They're just really catching L's, our MIBR on this top site. Not able to break through. They've had lower a couple of times. I'm agreeing with you, Harry. I'm not a fan of these contact day plays, nor the explosive early pops. Nice shot. That'll do. But it was only, you know, that play was dead anyway. Big are even mollying the main roof, and they did that earlier, and they actually disrupted an MIBR smoke. So already they know that MIBR like to throw these instant smokes outside. These tendencies are pretty clear for Big. Done their prep. Nice shot for Enezan through the smoke, catching Tabson, laying down utility. MIBR, this is nice. Going back to late smokes outside, and perfectly timed because Searson's here. But they only have 2 and 3. They don't have 1, Harry. So Searson's still going to have open shooting towards this cross. They just make it behind red. That is excellent timing for MIBR. And Searson won't be sure that there's 4 players making it down. Gap under the smoke gives Faven an idea. Make it 3. What can they do with it?
Oh, the Deagle's good for the first. There's another man in the vents. Oh, and knives are out as they run to go get that gun. Turtle again in another one of these clutches. He wins through the vent. This Turtle's got speed.
Just save, it's over. He's won it.
1v2, Crimbo moving up the vent side. Searson's in the lobby and is dead. Turtle now in with a chance and just has to snuff out Crimbo. The last light of hope in this round for Big.
He's sticking it. Oh, he got him off.
Yeah! Oh, Turtle with the 1v3 to make it happen. Big round from the guy. And it's the first on the board for MIBR.
Lovely stuff. I like everything about that clutch, Turtle. Realized he had a massive gap going up vent, right? It's the same as the last 1v3 where he dropped. He knew he had timing there, even though it let him down eventually with an open plant. But runs, gets a player off the defuse, fakes it out for a second. At that point, the CT wants to get back on the bomb, and then he gets faced. Perfect for Turtle. Even the reload to walk back hut into A and then fakes the noise and walks right back to lobby. Like he was just playing with his opponent there in the 1v1. So very nice round. MIBR come through with the goods. The third 1v3 attempt, but this one pans out. And really, up until that point, everything was going excellently for me. You felt like they'd done enough. But Crimbo shut down in a clutch. Not easy to do. And MIBR, I mean, they've got to make a real run in the rest of this half to even be up for the task of taking down Big on this map. But that's a start.
Yeah. Cool big popper from Stranger Things, man, because they finally caught an L, Hugo. Now, you won't get that. It'll go right over your head, mate, but there was a joke there. Searson with the AWP, gonna drop the bomb down secret stairs, and now hangs around waiting for more. One is never enough for a guy like Searson.
I feel that. If he re-aggroes, he dies. No way Searson can win that, but he ain't gonna make that mistake. Sitting back on his laurels, waiting for MIBR to come to him. And Big, I love how quiet and stale they go in these 5-on-3s, making no mistakes, giving no way back in. Oh, Searson, sleepy shot. In fact, won't even fire it. Misses the jump. Oh, run. If they hounded him down, that would be a kill. But a bit of respect goes the way of Searson, and that saves his life. Tabson, the last angle to be checked, coming back up secret. Should be at least one. Oh, he fired, but exits fast. 5-on-3, trying to be pulled back here. 25 seconds. They're going to get Jota up in heaven before they split this A site with him. Crimbo, how long does he hold here? Team have to come through main eventually. It's up to Tizian behind Vent. Crimbo's waiting.
Oh, wins that fight. That's so important. And as they go in now, Crimbo has really just set Tizian up to lock that round in. Fully discounted at the CT vent, and Big are right back on the board. They're wasting no time, getting back into the swing of things here. That old familiar feeling of disappointment setting in for MIBR. Another round that just sails on past them. The victories are very short-lived. Only one of them so far for MIBR, and it was a hero round out of Turtle.
How does Crimbo win that fight as well? Like flicking up and getting the headshot on the player above the railing. What a nice adjustment. Little A-rush here, but they've never worked out before, and today doesn't look like it's going to change as they get mauled coming out through hut door. And this often seems to be the case. Like the rest of MIBR left behind the utility and now stuck in another undoable one without the bomb, without guns, without a fighting chance. Should just be Big, keeping it nice and clean. And their money isn't out of control, right? MIBR have had close rounds, like we said. These one-on-ones, the Big keep winning. So another kill or two would go a long way for MIBR, but I don't see how you're meant to get them here.
I mean, Big have always been a really good team at putting a stop to like these kind of upper crunches like this. So I really don't like that it's like what MIBR keep going back to. I think that's really coming out of a place of desperation at this point. You know, it's not really like anything's been working. So they're going back to these like early pops where they try to set it up with all the util. And, you know, they're just kind of getting wrecked. You know, there's no way of sugarcoating it here. I'd love to see them, you know, manipulate these rotates. Big are often very, very keen to try and get ahead of rotating players down lower. So there's definitely a path back in there. I mean, that was even how Turtle was kind of teed up to win his little 1v3 escapade that he went on.
It can be a blessing or a curse, but I think at this point, Big are going to be so confident that, yeah, okay, they've not made mistakes in advantage positions, but they are going to be aggro, right? Searson is going to go for that main push outside, pick red. We are going to see lobby takes from Big as well in mid-round. If they think that MIBR are heavy outside, you know, that can play to your benefit if you're MIBR. You can definitely, like you said, play slower, hold more default rounds, wait for Big to come to you. But yeah, at the same time, Big are confident. They are feeling it and they are hitting their shots, Harry. Safe to say the game is being played. And Cello played like a fiddle instead. He's going to be dead to Searson. That's a disgusting headshot. He is trapped, tries to smoke himself out. They run him down. Good flash. They run right by, and Turtle clears the corner. Lovely util, and the AWP even finds a pick as well. So this round's gone a lot better for MIBR, and it's getting a lot worse for Big. Tizian will lift them out of the doldrums, but that's where Big are located. Double B bound. MIBR have the A site, finally.
And I mean, even though the scoreline is like super one-sided, Big's money is still at breaking point here. Now, even getting out of this round with the AWP and the AK, it's going to facilitate an investment in the next. But their money is like on the ropes in a very real way. So, you know, this save makes a lot of sense. It at least allows them that kind of buffer of one more round to try and put a stop to MIBR going on a streak. But this is how MIBR could recover this game. You know, if they win this next one, they go 3-11. Big are then force buying into round 15. They're not going to have really anything to go into that round. And so the odds are MIBR could 4-11.5. And suddenly, you know, that's workable. You can do something with a 4-round T-half. If Big pick this up, very different story. I think at that point, you can, I don't even want to say it, but you can kind of imagine that they are just going to go on to win the game. MIBR really need this follow-up round if they want to be teed up to salvage this matchup.
Also worth noting, we'll see if it progresses, but BLUEJAYS and Entropiq is primary AWPing right now. We haven't seen cello take it. So that's something, you know, not been a homebred AWPer, but trying to pick up the role and make it work. Nothing wrong with that. As more time goes on, MIBR try and find their identity here. But as one of the Brazilian teams that have made waves in Europe and had a lot of practice time, we're a fan of that. They're not the only ones from, well, the Americas. We also, of course, have Evil Geniuses.pa. We christened them, or not we, but Kurt christened them, the manager, Evil Astronauts. And then the other EG roster, the third one, is Carpe Geniuses. That's what we're going with. The Evil Astronauts, they're up later, taking on Astralis. Not an easy opening game by any means. They're also trying to represent their region. Oh! See ya. Tabson's gone. Look at the room. Within 5 seconds, MIBR are in CT spawn. They've got the bomb down lower, and Big don't even know this is a B play because they saw the hell drop.
Yeah, this is really nice, and it's good that cello was the man to do it. He's very much like the emotional spirit level of this team. You know, when he's feeling hyped, when he's feeling like he can get away with big plays, it often reflects in the rest of the squad. So him finding all this space to open up is a really nice thing for MIBR in a round that carries so much importance for this squad. I like that he's just kind of completely, you know, pulled the brakes as well. Just set up over towards hell to catch a player rotating in. Maybe someone wants to get info outside. Maybe you want to check it. And that's where cello's hoping he can take another one out the ranks of Big. They're going to give him a little bit of time here to make a move. And he will eventually set his sights on heaven, looking to scale up. Now, this might culminate in an A play after all, because of this space that cello has. It's all based on a timing now for these A players as to whether or not they're cognizant of it, and do they catch it. Searson's in this fight. BLUEJAYS and Azan. Oh, gonna win the AWP head-to-head. And this might peel more attention away from Heaven. Tizian's holding it right now, but he can't hold it forever. Will win the fight to cello, however, they're spilling out through the door, out through main. His feet are getting tickled. Faven's good for the double, and he's left it in a 1v1.
What a save for Faven. The stick. Oh, you're dead, mate. You are dead. No respect for Crimbo in the clutch. He runs down Exit and even saves out AWP. That's a very strange commit for Exit to stick on the plant. You can definitely see some nerves for MIBR in some of these clutch situations, some mistakes getting made. That was a lovely save by Faven, and they kind of had no choice, but both MIBR players turned into the wall. They heard the flash coming in. They had to look away or just blind fire into the blindness. And yeah, it was lose-lose, really. Faven gets a nice double kill on that A site, and this continues to be the reckoning for MIBR. This top site is not giving them any favors. Oh, Searson's screwed. Hello, they're running with nades out. They're not even trying to kill him. cello just keeps going. He's like, yep, he's on the roof, don't care. Not my problem, none of my business. What he does in this position. And Searson, he's going to finish what he started. I mean, he should never be alive. Crimbo on the ramp. Lines up 2 and a 3rd. Easy does it. MIBR are getting slattered. And cello, he's going to be playing the oboe later. Might need to change his tune. BLUEJAYS is dead. And Big find 13 rounds at the half. What a dominant half. What a great half for Big. But it is a little sad to see MIBR come in this cold.
Yeah, it's certainly not the start you wanted for MIBR, is it? But for Big, it's a real confidence booster for them, you know, like, and kind of what it means for this squad across the whole event. I think, if anything, I would have been a little more worried if this comes in and it goes closer than what it did in Dallas, even though that was dominant. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would be closer. I thought there would be a bit more fight here from MIBR, but that's not been the case, and it's all kind of spearheaded by Faven having a really good game. Crimbo and Searson up there as well. You know, tabseN hasn't had to do a hell of a lot so far, and in a way, it's kind of reassuring to see that he doesn't have to always drop like these big performances in games. Yeah, you know,
it's impossible.
I said the word, everyone.
Alexi Flash are going quick into upper.
Now they spill. Double backside setup. Turtle's already dead, and Exit's followed up onto. This is a dominant pistol round out of Big, and this could spell the end of this matchup in a very big way. MIBR down to 2, and this retake is nothing more than very wishful thinking, you'd like to assume. cello can't connect. Enazan is dead up in heaven. And cello is getting run at. They all go to fight him.
Honestly, I thought the name was like going to be really difficult, and I didn't really like it for English. But the more I say it,
Enazan,
the more I love it.
It's kind of
Enazan.
Imagine the chance, man.
Yeah,
they're gonna pop off.
Well, we hope to see MIBR in Rio. I mean, the more Brazilian teams in Rio, the better, as far as I'm concerned, because we love a bit of crowd bias in the right way. But right now, Big. It's the big Snapple and Bigger Thirsty.
Hey, that's good.
Thanks. Quick drop down the vent for tabseN. Hello, Jota.
He's getting pursued.
He's past you, buddy.
No.
Now he knows.
Okay, they heard the door open. Now they got to know. Yeah. Jota's like, okay, hold up. Something ain't right. And here he is. tabseN's dead. Shot in the head. More men coming. Oh, he's getting run down. Drops that smoke. Do Big want to go through? Do they want to test the waters, test the metal of Jota's Mach 10 hold here? Turtles down the vent, dead after 1. But Jota holds on, lives to fight another day. cello walks into Faven and lives to tell the tale. It's a 4-spy win for MIBR.
Yeah, lid cracked off there for Big. That all kind of just fell apart as they were panicking to get back down to lower to try and assist tabseN, try and trade him out. But it's not the end of the world. It's a nice steal of a round for MIBR to actually make this game something, give them a gun round in their second half. Crikey, they wouldn't have had it otherwise. So the 4-spy pays off, pays dividends, and MIBR get the big guns out early. For Big, it's just Deegs, but I know a thing or two about German Deegs, Harry. In my time, I've seen many a German Yeeg do many a thing, find many a dome. So can it be done? We'll have to wait and see the age-old question. That was a dink through a wall, no less, but still damage. Big are working on the main roof. This double scope for the scout won't see Big. He just gets out in time. searson nails noggins with this scout. He hits headshots, man. He is quick. But MIBR won't walk into his sightlines, not yet.
searson scout. Do we believe? Because thus far the German Deagles have not been able to find a way in. And it's not getting better anytime soon. Give us one. Oh.
Well, the scout hit, at least, but hit searson this time. Flawless. That's nice. It just feels always so undoable at this scoreline with 14 on the other side, but it's all the pieces that MIBR need if they were ever going to make something of this game. Clean rounds, confidence boosters, warming in. A decoy for Faven. And that is simply it. Don't know how searson died. searson died to full damage. That's why it wasn't in the kill feed. He fell off of silo and got hit mid-air.
Yeah, it's always brutal.
We love that.
But, you know, Glock round. Can you make it any more fun? Crimbo. Here it is. This is your moment. Glock and a dream. There is a whole scout waiting for you around that. Oh, God, it's on fire. Oh, it's clean. Crimbo busts him down. Now as a scout to play with. Does it get any more exciting than that Glock burst? I don't think it does, but let's see. Here he is. Crimbo, the Cyclops. Scoped in. One eye, but it's very large. And
the bigger the eye, the more it pry. Crimbo with a second.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready for this. He's ready for it.
Don't.
Still, it's going to be real clean. That's the time. Now he's softened up. Now exits a little weaker. Crimbo, hello, 1v1. Oh my God, this all started with a Glock. He's very low on health. Jota is going to have to fumble this one massively if somehow Crimbo wants to win it. And this was a round that never should have happened, and it won't. Jota keeps it locked in. It is a damn good try from Crimbo.
When you lose a clutch but you smile, you know you got away with more than you ever should have, right? That's despicable. Crimbo, yeah, real fresh-faced talent for this big roster. I think it's what they needed. And yeah, now the game gets hard, at least for MIBR. If it wasn't already, Big coming in with a full buy round, and MIBR, they lose 4 players to the eco, Harry. That was nothing. So yeah, money's not great, is it? All the AWP crosses. They will get some spam shots in, but no visual confirmation. It's the audio that gives it away. AWP gets out, and on top of the garage spotted, Jota also lives. Man, MIBR are cheeky this round. They're very lucky to be alive in a 5-on-5. Big lay out those smokes, late and wide. How we like them. Going to bounce across into the garage with those ones as well. And with the AWP firing CT, that gives you a bit of a warning that garage might be empty, but Big want to commit with a lower play anyway. 4 players making it down, leaving Favin on this late lurk. Jota's going to be the first drop into lower. He's going to hide out in the vents for now.
They're all going quietly. Oh, Jota. Uh-oh, they were a lot closer than he was ready for. They're already in the B side. That is really going to throw a spanner in the works for MIBR. Tabson will find that timing eventually. It's a 3v3 now with the bomb down. Be it Enazan in through the ramp side. Moving in, scoped up with this AWP, hoping they give him a reason to look into this round. The other 2 are down through secret, but it's very, very slow here for MIBR. This means they've got to go fast eventually. Gonna lose that element of surprise. You need to win this fight to Tizzy in at the stairs. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but that is not enough to entice MIBR in big. They win it with a bit of a secret walk there. Never known about until it was too late for MIBR.
Yeah, I'm surprised at Jota there. He either had to play for the info or play for the cheeky surprise late. Like he tried to do both at the same time. He's hidden out in vents in a very bad spot, to be honest, a very dangerous spot. You're trapped, you can get mollied. There's no exits really that are safe. And then he just like random peeks off of a timing. If he's going to do that, he may as well play decon and actually be able to support the B site and stop them from planting in, stop them from getting space. Instead, he just dies in the vent and has nowhere to go. So that was the first domino that fell, but MIBR locked out a lower. Even though they kill the lurker, they know what Big are doing. Doesn't mean they can stop it. 15-5, Jota's going to make it across this time. This is a nice spot for him. Big don't have that info, but it might not matter. They're going to run it anyway. One way will give it away, and Jota can't find that kill as they take garage instead. On the fly, splitting this A site, and Big are already climbing up heaven.
This is awkward for the Enazan, man. He's down here inside of hell, looking to hold on. He needed that second shot to connect. He does have cello to come in and help him. I don't know about Crimbo, who's up in heaven right now. Ooh, chance at the double, and he will convert the spray. Not out of the woods yet, MIBR. This guy's been good in the clutches. Always giving them a run for their money. Has a whole minute to play with, and that smoke is going to give him control of the bomb again. Back up the ladder now. A second man has reinforced the site hold, and Jota, I do like that decision there, right? It's kind of risky. Leaves a 1v1 open inside of the A site, but he just hopes that Crimbo's going to discount the positions he's already cleared. He already came in with the big double opener onto the A site, was not ready for a third guy playing around default.
Yeah, worthy reposition there, and I would not have. I mean, 1v5 to end it. That's a roster killer right there. So, MIBR will live to fight another round. Will stop Crimbo from going crazy, and now they're left with just pistols again. But big. I mean, they came in with 5 Glocks and they made it a 1v1. So nothing is guaranteed here. Ramp rush. Cello gets Crimbo on a pre-fire and. He's going to be able to double up. Tizian did make it out, but again, a Glock, folks. It's a quick day in the Glock fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Going to commit to that one, are we?
Ooh, nice. 4 out of 5 for Cello. And MIBR on damage control. Playing for pride.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're still holding on in this one, right? Refusing to let Big take it over the line. Just barely keeping their heads above water, but they are right now. Still a long ways to go before you get too enticed by the prospect of a comeback. The worrying part is I don't even think we've necessarily scratched the surface of the Big T side so far. They've got so much more they can try. They've got a lot of star power here, guys who can just have a big round individually. And so MIBR, it's going to be a real test to try and contain that, not just once or twice, but for, another 8 rounds straight. tabseN's walking these outside smokes to try and get himself situated over in secret. I wonder how much room they want to give him, right? How much of a playmaker is tabseN going to be? Is he going to be someone trying to initiate this? Or is he going to spring a little bit later in the round? Flash in on the ramp side is certainly a nice way to strike up a man advantage there. Tizian's on the receiving end of that flash push. And the AWP's even tagged up as well. cello's done well to kind of deal with this ramp component out of Big. And this might force a change of plans.
Yeah, especially with tabseN, he's hoping, despite all of this going on, that he's going to get reaction, he's going to get a curious B player coming up, but Jota's so anchored in lower, so tabseN's going to have to go on his own little search. That main smoke thrown by his teammate gives him room outside. He can waltz into main, or go all the way. tabseN just wants the A site instead. csgo gets a pick out hut. tabseN follows up with a trade on the roof, and he doubles into the A site. This might be it, folks. This might be the beginning of the end. The jump doesn't help, but cello from above lays down one. And right now the bomb's trapped alone while csgo goes on a heaven post-plant attempt. This is very ballsy when the plant isn't for him, but it's also the last thing that MIBR expect.
He's heaven wrapping with an AWP. Like, that's kind of crazy. Might not matter, because faveN's going to lock it in.
He hit the ground. He died to full damage again, faveN.